Howdy, it's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com. You know, I was looking at one of the playbills from a play coming up. Somebody's doing The King and I. Or no, it's not The King and I. It's Fiddler on the Roof. And Fiddler on the Roof has that wonderful song, Traditions. Well, this is all about transitions. Betsy, how do you like that as a lead-in? Isn't that good?
I like it. That was really good. And I like the singing along with it.
Transitions. She's Betsy Allen-Manning with us this morning. Betsy Allen-Manning is the best-selling author, keynote speaker, and owner and CEO of Destination Workplace, a company dedicated to helping people succeed in business and their personal lives. And she's in Dallas, Texas. Betsy Allen, good morning.
Good to be with you, Todd.
It's good to have you with us here today. Let's talk a little bit about workplace. We get to this time of the year and people are thinking about what's my next step. And for a lot of people, especially in upper management in companies, what's next is retirement. And so people are going to work under one boss one day and the next day there's somebody new sitting in that chair. And frequently for older workers like us, that person sitting in that chair supervising us, directing us, managing us is a person a lot younger than we are. That's tough to handle for folks, Betsy.
It is, and I like to call us seasoned workers as opposed to older workers since we're in that category. But yes, a lot of us are thinking these Gen Zs that are coming into the workplace that are going to be managers soon. I have a sweater that's older than them. How are they going to possibly manage me? What kind of leadership style are they going to bring to the workplace? And what kind of hurdles am I going to have to get over in order to work with them? So there's a lot of challenges and interactive challenges that are going to be coming up with them.
Yeah, and for a lot of us, it's hard to understand and realize that those Gen Z workers that we think about, they're approaching 30 years of age. They've been in the workforce for a while.
They have, and I think that sometimes we forget that. And it's actually, they're bringing some positive changes with them as leaders. According to our recent National Workplace Trends study, 73% of Gen Z say that they want a sense of purpose in order to be satisfied at work, along with 89% of workers saying that they need a sense of team and collaboration to be satisfied. So when we look at the workplace moving forward, they're going to be more collaborative than they are commanding in their leadership style, and they're going to bring more meaningful work, which is going to help them attract and retain the best talent, and that's one of our biggest challenges right now in the workforce.
Obstacles, Betsy, there are going to be a bunch of them, and particularly, the way that we relate to each other. Older workers might have about themselves the idea that, what's this young whippersnapper know about work? And I've been working here for a lot of years, probably more than they've been born.
Yeah, there is a gap that we're going to have to bridge when it comes to boomers, Gen X, and our Gen Zs that are coming in now, especially as managers. One of them is they're going to have to learn how to earn respect, and that's brushing up on your leadership skills as they move into the workforce. They're going to need to know it going in. We used to learn leadership on the job. That's no longer an option for them. They need to learn it going in, or they are going to lose some of their A players. They're also going to have to bridge that communication gap. We have Gen Zs who are all about digital messaging. We have boomers and Gen X who are more about face-to-face interactions. So they're going to have to learn how to bridge that gap and create a good balance between the two.
That's interesting that you say that because you get to thinking about, we're those of us who are seasoned and have been in the workforce for quite a while. We've been through the transition from old-style rotary phones to push-button phones and on the way up through, finally, we're here at smartphones, and they've not been through that, those younger folks. And so, you talk about set in your ways. Certainly, we can be. We would hope that our experience and the fact that we've had to go through transition would help us, but sometimes that's not always the case, and you run up against that generational thing, don't you?
Yeah, and I think also, though, you hit a key point there. The Gen Zs, the smart ones, are the ones that are going to lean on their more seasoned and more experienced employees that are working for them and maybe get a little bit of mentorship on professional development from them, on some work ethic from them as well, and let them be an ally, not necessarily an enemy when it comes to the workplace. And just like I said, bridging that gap and earning the respect, that's the main hurdle that they're going to have to get over on both sides.
So, what are some of the things that we can do as seasoned employees when we're dealing with younger managers and supervisors? Because obviously, we want to get along. We want to continue to make our business view us as being worthwhile.
Yeah, well, one of the things we're going to have to do is learn that they're going to be implementing a lot of AI tools in order to be more efficient. So when it comes to their work ethic, they're about work smart, not work hard. They're going to use AI tools to be more effective, more efficient. They're going to cut down on meetings that we don't need to have. We're going to really need to respect their boundaries. We're used to working all hours that we need to in order to work hard. That's what we do. It's what we've been taught. We've been operating out of burnout for years and calling it grit, and they call it what it actually is, toxic and unsustainable. So they're going to set a new standard. They're going to set some boundaries and say, when I'm done, don't email me at 10 p.m. or call me and expect a return call or a return email. When I'm done for the day, I'm done for the day. And that's going to be the biggest challenge is we're used to getting that immediate feedback at whatever hour.
That's really going to be hard for some folks, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Oh man, and so we're going to have to deal with conflict management too, then, because we might have the idea, or I say we because I am an older worker, but older folks, senior employees are going to have to come to an understanding of what it is that the younger guys and gals are up against, and sometimes we don't want to give them that leeway.
I think we need to bring compassion and empathy back to the workplace again, because the Gen Zs, they are about putting purpose back into the workplace. And I think that as long as we understand that, we can work well together. Conflict resolution, that goes for every single generation, is going to have to learn those skills. And a great company will help produce a great leadership program that provides that conflict resolution training for them.
Betsy Allen-Manning is our guest here this morning on Indiana in the Morning. Betsy, is there the opportunity, or maybe that's not the word for it, is there a propensity for people in that situation when a new year begins? I choose that because we're at the beginning of one. When a new year begins and younger folks take over and in those management positions, for the older folks to say, you know what, I'm not going to deal with it. I'm going to quit. I'm going to move on to some other job, or I'm just going to retire.
If you feel like it's your time to retire and you don't want to learn how to adapt to this new upcoming generation, that's okay. If it's your time to go out, then go out and go out with a smile. If you are going to stay, realize that the workforce is going to change and be willing to adapt to it and be willing to give your advice as well. And, in our company, we are teaching the Gen Zs and every generation, listen to your people because their input is valuable to you, and getting their input will also get their loyalty in the long term as well.
Yeah, I guess you really do have to walk in a mile or so in somebody else's shoes, don't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you can go about it with a nice, fresh attitude, and you can lean upon each other and can turn it into a positive.
Absolutely. And we're going to need each other in the workplace moving forward. We need different personality styles. We need different perspectives. And I think the balance between the two is actually going to create an incredible workplace in 2025.
Betsy, tell me about Destination Workplace.
Yeah, so our whole goal is putting purpose, accountability, and loyalty back into the workplace. I think purpose was stripped away during the pandemic, and it's time to put it back. So we conduct a lot of leadership programs, training programs. We conduct a lot of culture shift programs. People don't have those toxic workplace cultures anymore, and they work in a place where they actually feel like I belong here, and I get excited about the work that I have. I want to stay.
Yeah, so how do we learn about you?
You can go to BetsyAllen-Manning.com if you want a keynote speaker, or you can go to DestinationWorkplace.com if you'd like to check out our company and download that National Workplace Trend Study.
Beautiful. Betsy, have a wonderful weekend and a great new year.
Thank you so much, Todd. You have a great new year as well.
It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com.